Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Three Bands, and I've got a really neat installment for you today. It's going to be about the Zx8000 line, and of course, this is going to come from the book written by Jason Coles about the sneakers from Zx8000. And what I thought was just really interesting was when I was doing my research on this and I had read the book, was that sure, there's a lot of technology in the Zx8000, and we're going to go over that. But as I dug in a little bit deeper, I found there was a whole other B part, or a second backstory to it, that I found just, if not, to be honest with you, even more inspiring. So it all started with, I was looking for a pair of Zx8000s, and Sebastian, who lives in the Netherlands, he sent me a link on these shoes, these Iraq shoes. And I was like, those are really dope samples. I love to collect samples. And I remember I had this vintage t-shirt right here from 2007 Iraq. I've had this for a while. And I was like, that's really cool because, the book, I need a pair of those, and it would be nice to have them. They were at a reasonable price point, so it was this pair, and it was this friends and family pair, so I said, let me grab them. So when I got them and I started doing some research and I learned more about the torsion system and I learned the B part of it, I got really, really excited, and I was like, man, I just really want to share this, because when I was talking to Sebastian, he was like, in my part of the world, the ZX series is very, very popular, and it's a whole part of our culture, and that was new to me because I live in the States, and like Jordan and Forums, the shoes like that, that's kind of, and Superstars, of course, for me, that's what I grew up with. So to hear that, I was just immediately intrigued by it and wanted to learn more. So before we jump into that, I just want to grab the book and kind of show you what's in the book and then go to the B part, and I think you're really, really going to get a kick out of this. So first, let's just talk about the Zx8000 series and get this book up so the camera catches it. This is the torsion, and the torsion bar was developed by Dr. Bino, let me see if I can see this right, Dr. Bino Nig at the ETH Zurich Institute. And he was one of the first doctors to study the difference between pronators and supinators, and he studied how the natural foot, when it's barefoot running, it hits the ground and it twists, it has this torsion to it. So when they were developing the shoe, they developed this torsion bar to help deconnect the different parts of the shoe so it could have that natural twist. And the ZX series line comes as each person's feet, like I have flat feet, will be different than maybe your feet when you have a high heel or a high arch, so your foot's going to land a little bit differently. So that's really, really new technology, and was very, very, it was a big deal at the time. So here you'll see the different series, and depending on how your foot lands, what type you have, they develop the different system. So that was really, really, really cool. And just turn a couple more pages, I want to show you this. Now this is the iconic Zx8000. This colorway, I think it was around the Seoul Olympics when it came out. It was very bright, which at the time was all the rave because that's what was popular at that time. And this shoe made a statement. And to me, when I see this shoe, even now I'm looking at it, it's a gorgeous shoe. And I think all of you can agree, just the color, something about the shoe itself just works. So this is definitely a shoe that I'll look for. If by chance I could ever find one of these original, that would be just truly amazing. I know the odds of that's very, very, very slim. Just moving on to this. Now this is what I saw was equally as amazing as the torsion bar. They made the torsion bar on the bottom visible just so people could kind of see that technology. But if I don't know if you can see, but this number 9, let's see right here, you see the little support balls that are in there? That's really, really, really neat. I had no idea that those would even be in there, and nobody ever would unless they actually took a look at the shoe on the inside. So that was really, really neat to see as well, just all the technology that went into it. Then going on, another beautiful shoe, and then show you this right here, Alexander de Bloom. Definitely just an amazing collection. So what I noticed right here was in his collection, he has a pair of the original blue ones, of course, with Jacques signing, and he has the Iraqs and quite a few of the other ones. But what he mentioned about the collection was the B part that I wanted to talk about. So let me just put this down. And as I'm doing this, I'm going to flash up some pictures. Now, when the Zx8000 line came out around 1989, it became a part of the subculture in the UK, Netherlands, Manchester, because that was all the rave, literally in the Acid's house. They would wear these ZX shoes because they were so comfortable that you could dance all night in them. And they had these nice bright colors, which was all the rave at the time. And it was just became a part of their subculture. At that time, these shoes, though, were very sought after because at today's price point, they were $250. I mean, I know I just did the video talking about the Forums and their $100 price point in 1984, but $250, I'm like, wow. So these were definitely a status symbol at the time as well. But to me, what was super interesting, because I can remember in 1989 when the Berlin Wall fell and the two Germanys united, it was, you know, it was a huge deal to see that celebration and the independence. And I actually remember that wall falling, and it was very memorable to see something like that happen. And because of that, in Germany, Berlin, these shoes became a staple of that subculture as well. So for me, I got really excited because, you know, for me, superstars were a big part of my life. To know that these shoes, not only were they packed full of technology from Jacques, but they actually became a part of the subculture and became so much more than just the shoe. They became a representation of that time. For me, that's what a sneaker is about. It shares a story. So when I look at these shoes, not only do I see a beautiful silhouette and timeless classic, you know, technology, the torsion bar, but what I see more than that is just a lot of memories and a representation of where we've been and a whole lot of different memories. And that is something that I really gravitate. So when I found that B part of the ZX series, I got it. So when, you know, Sebastian was telling me about these shoes and, hey, Tim, you got to grab these shoes. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to grab them. And I am so thankful that I did. So anyway, I just want to put these shoes up and show you. This is a confirmation or authorization, a look-see sample, I'm sorry, of the Iraq 2020s. And just go ahead, because these are the shoes that I've got. This is a really cool, really cool design. What I love about this shoe is that it's got the classic, really vibrant colors, and that's what I really like about the Zx8000. And on the bottom, of course, you can see that torsion bar. So really dope. And for the sample tag, for the people who love samples out there. Look, see. The other pair of shoes that I have sitting over here is the Friends and Family edition. Now, I love a white shoe, but knowing the history of the ZX, you know what, I honestly prefer this because it's the brighter colors. But this is, you know, it's a dope shoe, and because it's Friends and Family, it's a lot more limited, and I get all that. But it's you know, it's just a nice, clean, white silhouette. So I'll just kind of go around and show you this shoe. Again, just a really dope shoe. Nothing wrong with it. Just knowing the history about it now, I would prefer to rock these. But again, nice addition. And over here are just some little baby samples. I love to find baby samples in anything. And these are my little Sean Witherspoon baby samples of the ZX8000. They're just freaking cute. I mean, dadgummit, they just are. It is what it is. I love them. I love these shoes. Really cool. And on the bottom, I want you to see this. You've got an orange and a yellow torsion bar with the different colors on the heels. What a neat little pair of shoes. And of course, this is an authorization or a confirmation sample of another one. These are equipments, but I just kind of wanted to turn these over and show you as well that this has the torsion bar on there. Really dope, right? So really, that's about it. I want to close it down, but just super excited, to share you another part of the book, and I'll go ahead and hold the cover of it up. From Soul to Soul, Jason Coles wrote this book. Absolutely amazing. It's chock full of stories about the Adidas sneakers of Jacques Chassin. So more to come. Can't wait till I get my pair of vintage Run DMCs in. I thought I would have them by now, but they just aren't here. But that installment is to come. So as always, especially for shoes like this, I gravitate and I love anything with a story. And I always collect what I love. This is 3 Bands, and I'm out. Peace.